CM Punk and Drew McIntyre are heading to Hell in a Cell. Gunther's favorite wrestler is Bill Goldberg, and Raw is moving to 2 hours. For now, anyways. Let's dive into your hot takes from September the 9th, 2024. I know this one is a little bit on the late side, but I got no excuses. I was tired last night and just went to bed. Let's go ahead and dive into your shit. Straw Hat 68 says, this isn't a hot take, but we need some Eric Rowan appreciation. Very underrated wrestler. I am very, very happy. Number one, I'm cool starting this without a hot take. This is a cold take because I think we can all agree it's kind of awesome for Eric Rowan that after all this time, after losing two of his best friends, after not being employed by WWE, he gets to do this. I think it's really cool for him and a hell of a showcase for him and the rest of the Wyatt Six last night. I thought it was awesome. Nikki Cross hitting that German suplex. We have a hot take about that a little bit later on, but I thought that was pretty great too. So yeah, hats off to Eric Rowan, man. I think he's a lot of fun. That barricade spot was really cool. The Genuine Fake says Gunther telling Bret Hart to his face in Canada that Bill Goldberg is his all-time favorite wrestler is the greatest thing Gunther has ever done and may ever do. Yeah, I thought it was pretty awesome, but goddamn, that guy can wrestle too. Ilya Gunther 2 is probably my favorite thing he's ever done. But this is really high up there. It is goddamn hilarious. It was really good stuff. Did not expect that to happen. And I especially like Bret Hart's reaction. Seemingly, he was just tickled by it and found the humor in it. Tyler Warden 93 says this first hour of Raw has to be the best commercial-free first hour I may have ever watched. Yeah, so here's the thing. Usually I hate when they go commercial-free for the first hour of Raw because it means one of two things. Number one, there's going to be a lot of meandering in the first hour, and in the next 2 hours, there's going to be like a lot more commercials because all the commercials they don't put in the first hour, they got to put them somewhere, so they put them in the second 2 hours. That being said, starting off with the Wyatt Six and then going straight into the Judgment Day stuff and then going into whatever happened third. Now I forget. I thought it was all really, really good. I thought, I think it was the Bret Hart stuff. I don't know what it was. In any event, I thought it was awesome. I thought it was a killer first hour of Raw last night. And the next 2 hours were pretty decent too. Speaking of 2 hours, Stu Wallbaum says Raw going back to 2 hours is an S-tier announcement. So of course, this is only for the last 3 months of the year. I have no doubt once it goes back to Netflix, once it goes to Netflix, it's going to go back to being 3 hours. Makes a lot of sense. I'm sure Netflix probably has lots of ads in mind for the 3 hour Raw when it goes there, because they got the cheapo service there on Netflix that serves up ads. I myself only have premium. I myself have only the most premium Netflix with no ads. Never had ads on Netflix. I don't plan on going back to that. But yeah, what was it? S-tier announcement. Yeah, it'd be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how this 2 hour Raw situation pans out over the next 3 months once we hit October. I'm just trying to do something says we're going to miss that third hour Raw once it gets taken away. I think that is a distinct possibility. There's other takes in this thread. People saying that, yeah, what's going to happen to the wrestlers who are benefiting from that third hour? Raw is actually pretty good. Raw is probably my favorite weekly television and wrestling these days. Wrestling television these days. And I'm used to it being 3 hours. I'm fine with it being 3 hours. I don't need it to be 2 hours. Hopefully they're able to find the same amount of room for all the wrestlers that are on Raw in 2 hours as they do in 3 hours. I'm really doubtful that they're going to be able to do that, but I'm here for the ride, so hopefully it'll be cool. But yeah, people like the LWO, Pure Fusion Collective. I mean, there's a couple names that it's like, yeah, you're on Raw, but if it goes back to 2 hours, I don't know if you're going to be on Raw anymore. And I hope that doesn't happen. I hope everybody continues to get TV time. They'll probably going to cut back on match time if that happens. So something's got to give. It's a beast of a show, and they got a lot of people on the show. Remember to the draft, like Raw gets 3 picks and SmackDown gets 2 picks. So they got to go somewhere unless they all of a sudden make main event a banger of a show. Then what happens to people on main event? Shaw7548 says, I feel like having a CM Punk and Bret Hart backstage segment would have been really cool. Did anybody tell CM Punk that Bret Hart was going to be there? Because I feel like he should have been on TV if Bret Hart was going to be there. He's like Bret Hart's #1 fan. Psycho Crusher says, Goldberg comes back and faces Gunther for the world title and wins. Vince is not there anymore. These things do not happen anymore. So don't joke like that anymore, because I don't want that guy coming back. Necrotic Cortex says Triple H can't book tag team successfully. All the tag titles are irrelevant at this point. He's also turned the Judgment Day into this generation's spirit squad. So, this is pretty much true. I'm going to say with the one caveat that at least with the women's tag titles, they're being defended. Like they're clearly going to do a thing with Damage Control next. That's an actual division with wrestlers in it, and they're going after the title. I'm sorry, but you can't say the same thing about the Bloodline holding the tag titles. They're just part of the Bloodline story. They're not really part of a tag division. I know they just had, hell, they didn't have a tag match. They had like a 8-man, I think last week, or a 6. Yeah, it was an 8-man last week on SmackDown. So that wasn't like a tag division thing. It was a bunch of wrestlers from the tag division, but it's not like, you know what I mean? And then like Finn Balor's got a solo match against Damian Priest at the upcoming Bad Blood, and he's a tag champion. New Day have a tag title match next week, but guess what? That just means the New Day is going to break up next week. That shit's going to happen. So if you're a big New Day fan, prepare for that because they are breaking up. Damon Harden says, I love Howdy's hair and his mask. His mask is like a traditional horror movie mask. That cheap homemade makes the character, in my opinion. Yeah, look, my point about Uncle Howdy's mask is just from a practical standpoint. During his match with Gable, it looked like he was uncomfortable and he had to keep on flipping it back over. I wonder if there's somebody, he should put his hair up when he squares up. That's what he should do. He's about to go into a match and he does the thing that like badass women do. They take the scrunchie and they go, Uncle Howdy should do that shit. College Dewdrop says Bret not mentioning Vince was a missed opportunity. A missed opportunity for what? Just to create super awkwardness? Nobody wants to mention that guy. That guy has disappeared from the history books. He is gone. He has disappeared. Nobody needs to mention him. No missed opportunity there. No. KTFO says, are the Unholy Union still witches? I don't think so. They certainly seem to have sort of lost that we're standing outside with our coven, with the I don't think they ever did anything. Didn't they stand in front of a fire once, like outside at night? And I don't know, it wasn't like a campfire. It was like a witch's fire. No, they don't do that anymore. I think it's just normal. I'm just trying to do something, says the Street Trash shirt actually looks dope. 1000% agree. 1000% agree. Look, I'm going to try to put the merch up here, over here. You guys know that I love to like rate merch. This is S tier stuff right here. This is awesome. Here's the problem. Judgment Day has not referred to themselves as Street Trash on TV. They haven't. So I don't know why anybody, it's like, vaporware shirts over here. It's like shit that never happened, but we have shirts of it. Like they made shirts off of Dirt Street rumors. They made shirts off of something WrestleVotes tweeted. That's nuts. They were like, well, we had this stuff, then we're not going to use them, but we paid $200, some artist $200 for it. Let's go ahead and use it. Punked Off John says Nikki Cross's Abby gear, like the Uncle Howdy mask, kind of is goofy to see her do German suplexes in that thing. She looks like Poltergeist, but she's doing traditional wrestling moves. Yeah, I agree. I thought it was badass because, like, I know that it's Nikki Cross and, like, they refer to her as such, so I know she does wrestling moves. But I feel what you're saying. She looks like a ghost, and, like, ghosts don't do German suplexes. That being said, now I want ghosts to do that. Whenever I see like haunted house movies, I want to see the ghosts doing like heel hooks and hip tosses and arm drags, power bombs, cutters. Dan Matt says not Raw related, but WWE shop selling CM Punk's bracelet for $10 feels so scammy, especially since the original bracelet maker wasn't even notified. So yeah, I don't know if you guys caught this. You probably did if you're on the Twitter. WWE shop for a second had the CM Punk friendship bracelet on sale for $10 on their shop. It was a replica, of course, of the one that a fan made for CM Punk. And she has been, expressing her opinion about the Drew CM Punk feud along the way, having fun with it. And then, of course, anything to make a buck. These carnies, man. These fucking scam artists, dude. They're just like, hey, friendship bracelet. We should put this in WWE shop. I don't even know what voice that is. It's scam artist voice. We should put this on WWE shop. And then they do that, and it's like, then they don't even tell the girl that made the original thing in the first place. It's just tacky. Say what you will, it's probably legal. They have their right to do it, blah, blah, blah. But like, it's just tacky. And then they took it down because they knew that it was tacky. I would rather have vaporware shirts from Street Trash, a name that they don't even use. I'd buy that shit. I might, but WWE Shop's shirts are always like, I have no idea what I'm going to get. Is it going to fit good? Is it not going to fit good? Suppose I could return it, but like I got one of the Judgment Day shirts and it's like, I don't know, even for like my dad bod, like it just fits weird. Pause Techno says Ilya Dragunov is losing too much and I'm starting to get really worried. Yeah. Jey Uso is now the #1 contender for the Intercontinental Championship though. And Ilya has already lost to Braun like twice or something like that. But I think Jey fighting Braun is going to be good. But the Judgment Day are going to want that match. They're going to want the finish of that match. So, Jay's going to lose another big one. But yeah, Ilya needs to do something cool. Put him in a story. At least none of it be for titles. Put him in a cool story. Tony the Pokemon guy says Natalya doesn't get the respect she deserves. She's one of the most solid hands in the women's division and is super helpful in helping the younger and new generation. Yeah, I agree with that. Natalya is great. And I'm glad that she re-signed with WWE. She got a good pop last night. Yeah. Here's flowers for Natalya. Alistera says, is it a hot take? There is no hot take video yet. I was tired last night. I went to bed instead. I meant to do it last night. I did. Hey, it's going to be better in October when Raw goes to 2 hours. At 7 o'clock, I'll be able to work it. But the difference between 7 and 8 is like huge. Because at 8 o'clock, it's like, I go to bed usually around 11, maybe midnight. At 8 o'clock, I'm like, I just want to plunk down, watch some Pluto TV Star Trek channel. Usually it's the Voyager one these days. There's a lot of Voyager episodes I have not seen. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and the like button. Until next time, we'll see you guys around.